Welcome, welcome everybody back to another episode of the Fanguard. My name is Mark, and I marched Santa Clara from 1997 to 2001.
On the starting line from Long Beach, somewhere in China. Welcome to SC Vanguard.
And today we've got an awesome panel and an awesome show to review. And we're going to go around the room and do some introductions. Let's start with Ed. How you doing today?
Hey everybody,
Nice to
Ed
see
Medina. Good, nice. Thanks for having me. Ed Medina.
Thank you.
From Velvet Nights, 1990 through 1992. I was on the visual staff shortly thereafter for a year or so, and then kicked around the activity. Currently, I serve as Corps Manager of the Spirit of Atlanta in Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow. Awesome spirit. All right, and let's go down to Mr. Belski. Thank you for being here, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm Brian Belski. I marched VK 92, 3, and 4, taught in 96, and taught Vanguard 97, taught Pacific Crest 2000 through like 2006 or 7, and did some writing for them too. So a little drum corps. Not as much as Ed.
And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Belski is the reason why I was accepted into the Santa Clara Vanguard. So I owe a huge debt of gratitude to this man right here. And ladies and gentlemen, our final guest, you might recognize this man and you definitely recognize his brand. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Martinez.
Hello, I'm Rob Martinez, aka Rob Bass from my playing days. I marched the Velvet Knights in the drum line from 92 through 94. In 92, I played bass 4, and in 93 and 94, I played bass 2. I kind of away from the activity for a while, just doing regular blue collar work, having a career and a family. I recently got back into the activity probably around 2013 watching, and in 2017, I started a Facebook group called the Drum Corps Coffee Shop, and we actually have an Instagram page too with a whole bunch of followers. So I kind of, by default, by starting that group, have gotten really back involved with stuff and immersed into the activity and trying to be a positive force.
You have been.
Give a positive image for the activity.
You absolutely have been, Robert. And I know that a bunch of your fans are going to be excited to hear your voice and see your face. And I am super excited because today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be reviewing 1992 Velvet Nights. And this is an all-time great drum corps classic show. It is one of the most classic VK shows that you'll ever see. And we are going to let these guys talk about the name of the show and run through some of the titles that we're going to hear the corps play.
Well, 92, little backstory, the VK, they made the finals in 90, and then 91, they missed finals, getting like 13th place. So they want to kind of get back to their roots. So as a surprise to no one, they did one of their beloved shows, another rehash, the drum roll please. The Magical Mystery Tour. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, I love it. Magical Mystery Tour.
That was incredible, Rob. I got to give you props for that. That was amazing.
I know you probably could see all the way up into my brain on that one.
That was great. I'm surprised the drumstick didn't do the COVID test.
Dude, right.
Not long enough.
That was good.
Exactly.
91, the corps finished 14th. So actually behind the Camelot show, I think that was Skyriders who were in 12th, and then ahead of us was, I believe, Dutch Boy, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's right. Dutch Boy.
14, so well out of finals and feeling the pain, and coming back the next season and putting the Chuck Taylors back on was quite a special moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you're absolutely right.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it seemed like there was a lot of eagerness from the people that marched in 91 to get the corps back in the finals, and also from a lot of the staff. I want to say I heard that there was a promise to Buddy Hoffman by one of the show coordinator to, hey, get VK back in the finals. I don't know. Is that true? Do you remember that, or Brian?
It wouldn't surprise me. I remember a bunch of shows where, they would read the credits at the end as we were leaving. They would reference the staff, and they would get to the very end of the staff list, and they would say, Brian, maybe you remember this better than I do, but they would say something to the effect of spiritual guidance by Bobby Hoffman.
Bobby Hoffman, spiritual advisor.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
I forgot about that too right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really cool. I don't know about any promises made or anything like that, but I will agree that, the 91 season was a pretty galvanizing experience for us, especially the people who were dedicated to coming back to the Corps. Because a lot of us really had enough talent to go to anywhere else we really wanted to go and could have marched any other Corps and chosen that route. But instead, for some reason, we all came back. Maybe it was the food, maybe it was the uniform. I don't know.
Hey,
but we were all back.
And
I guess we loved our Corps. I don't know, something like that. So.
It seems like you would have people that would go to other corps and that were okay, and that's fine. But there were always the hardcore VK,
that's
so
right.
I die type of people that were no matter what, they're going to just stay in. VK is their thing, and they were like some of the most talented people in the Corps. That could have definitely gone anywhere. Yeah,
absolutely. We're about a handful of those types of people. I'm proud to represent that type of group of people. So.
Like I would call it a different kind of crazy right there. That's what you guys
different
were.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so guys, what music are we gonna hear?
Well, the opener was a very popular and signature tune for the Velvet Knights, Magical Mystery Tour, the Beatles tune. You heard it in 87 and 88, and they brought it back for 92, which was a blessing because, myself, I'll speak for me, I always wanted to play that tune on the field. And so growing up and hearing that and then being able to play it was awesome. We then played Cut from Brazil, also from the 87 show that we brought back, souped it up a little bit, changed the audio at the end, added the worm to the tequila, so to speak. Right. And then we did, Brian, you're going to have to help me out here. After Brazil, we did
Thunder, the drum solo.
Okay, the drum solo. Right. Which we did a lot of the drill work at midnight in the middle of the night because it was too hot during the day. And we did this like spiral thingy. You'll see it in the show where we had to run to the opposite ends of the field. And so, we didn't want to do that in the hot part of the day, but also needed tons of work. And it's the type of thing that, here I go already. And then we played Carol of the Russian Children.
Trepak.
Oh, Trepak, thank you. And then Carol of the Russian Children?
No, it was Carol and then Trepak.
Carol and then Trepak.
Really?
Yep. Wow. And then Hungarian Rhapsody was the closer. So that became the signature closer for us that we used 2 years in a row.
Man. And it
was it. So it's sort of that world tour thing came back full sort of different destinations was the concept of this show.
So what kind of stuff should we be looking out for as an audience here? I know we'll see the judge. That's pretty obvious. Anything we should know about like what's happening with him, or are we just he's just supposed to be the judge that gets manipulated throughout the show?
Well, the judge had a nickname. The judge was for Dave Osborne of comedic fame from television.
Oh, that's right.
So he shows up also in the rickshaw in the Kodo Thunder.
Yes. That's
And
right.
I can't remember if he shows up later on in the show too. Maybe I don't remember.
He's in the bomb toss over the horn line. He's dancing in Brazil. He's in Kodo Thunder.
Yeah.
He shows up a few times. He's a fixture in this show. So yeah, well, you guys already mentioned the rickshaw. We're gonna see Godzilla come out right about the same time. He's gonna do battle with the bunny.
Right.
The famous Energizer Bunny. When was the first Energizer Bunny appearance for VK?
That was probably 92.
I'm pretty sure.
Is this the first one? I know it's not the last,
Yeah.
but this is the first, huh?
93.
Yeah, I'm telling you
If
guys.
we're doing 93, I had a good Energizer Bunny story, but we'll save that for another time. Yeah.
Wait,
In Allentown. Yeah.
93 is a
I
great
may know
year.
which one you're talking about.
Oh, man. I laughed so hard the computer almost.
Well, we'll have to review 93 for sure.
But
well, awesome.
I was gonna say in the closer, you're gonna see the hunter, and then the fat lady, Brunhilde. But what people don't realize that unless they're really paying attention is they get together and then they go up front to the front sideline. Yeah, the front barriers where the color guard puts their stuff. but the hunter and the fat lady go behind that, and you'll see them start to shake, and then you'll see clothes fly up, from the fat lady, and like they're getting busy. But a lot of people don't realize that. You hear it in the crowd because you hear the crowd cheer every time another piece of clothing flies up in the air.
Also, confirm this, maybe Brian Belski, you might know. Isn't the Russian bear actually Joe Bruin?
Yes. Yeah, it was a Joe Bruin costume from UCLA.
Well, a fun fact when you start watching too is you'll see the drum majors in like the zany pants and a tuxedo shirt. That wasn't planned. That happened because someone they forgot their uniform, so they had to go to the souvenir truck and they had to go to the souvenir truck and get some pants off the souvenir truck to put on. All year they had these real nice looking drum major uniforms, except for finals night.
Inside stories,
Trivia.
behind the shows you love, from the people who live them, right here, right here. You guys ready to watch this thing? It's a great shot of you guys.
Yeah, originally that We Love to Fly when it shows was supposed to be different.
Yeah,
Like buckle up for VK. Yeah, buckle up for safety, yeah.
Yep, that's right. It was a big seatbelt drill that we did that came and buckled together.
Yeah. Good stuff. That was what a night. Oh man.
There he is. So here's
that's the question. His knowledge can be stuck.
those khaki pants are my khaki pants. They didn't put on the dummy, so they came for a dummy's pants. In fact, they said, "Hey, who can give up their pants for the betterment of your corps?" And I said, "I'll do it." So those are my khakis, and I never got it back.
At the beginning too, one of the quad drummers got his mallet stuck in between drums, and you can, if you look for it, you can see it on the camera.
John showing.
I love that. The uniform flip, the turnaround there, you guys. It is one of the most effective
so
things in
effective.
drum corps.
Yeah. And the original uniform was going to be like a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
It had like an airborne thing. But we went low budget and just rehashed the 91 uniform. Like,
The drill right there made almost 0 sense counts-wise. Did not go with any measures at all.
No, it was trying to get us up into the big man.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Okay,
that's Troy, I want to say Troy Mulberry.
yeah,
I think Brian's right behind me in that block, right, Brian?
I'm back there. Kevin Loud.
See, look at the drum major pants. Look at that. Oh man, that's terrible.
Hey, man.
It only works for us, I guess, yeah.
You got those spray painted yellow drums on the field, anything's good.
Yeah. Wait, hold on a second. There I am. I see me. Here comes the up here.
Nice.
Yeah, there it is. I love that. It just pumps me up every time I hear it.
So it's funny, this set that the mellophones go to, they were supposed to connect the dots in between the soprano line and baritone line, but they couldn't make their spots, so Eric put them in that wedge right there.
So Kitchener
And
wrote the drill,
tequila.
right? Eric did.
Kitchen Zod.
Eric
yeah.
did Zod.
Yeah, and the rest of us got to run that set 100 times to try to fix it.
I know. Oh,
Yeah.
lovely day.
Look at that crowd.
No, the drum solo was originally longer. There was like a 3-on-2 part in there towards the end, but it ended up getting cut.
Eugene.
The host came for it.
Eugene, God rest his soul.
Yeah, huge.
I love this battle.
See if I can remember the bass visuals.
During that whole time, we decided, as we were doing the chanting of the huh and the ha, that we would do, like, you remember the old like karate movies would do where you'd see the lips moving but different things were being said? So we decided to do while we were doing the yelling of huh and ha.
All badly dubbed Chinese movies.
A badly dubbed Chinese movie, exactly.
Here we go.
Look at me nodding my head like a dummy.
I
Yeah.
always look at Henry. I look at Henry at that point.
Yeah, Henry. You know, the drumline only had a couple of vets in it. The rest was pretty much all VK rookies. But there were some that had marched other places. But it was kind of a transitional year for the drumline with Float taking over.
A couple of guys from the 90s came back, right? Like Gary, some of those guys.
Just Gary and Henry, I want to say.
Oh, really?
And there were a couple guys from 92 in the bass line.
Oh, here comes a really big visual effect, you guys. The ripple. Whoa. Nice. Those uniforms, man.
What a difference in the sound of the drum line, though. Tom Float in 92. This drum solo, you know, and it goes into that 12/8, just such a classic Tom Float sound. I remember the first time I heard it, I couldn't believe how cool that sound was.
Yeah, and Godzilla was only quarterfinals, came in quarterfinals, right?
This is that spiral set you're talking about.
This move, Brian. You guys are running.
I was out for 2 weeks.
We were
because of
booking. That was one of those things I think we hit every day. Like one of the first or second things right after basics block every day.
Yeah,
and then
There's Tom. There's Tom.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, let's not look at the arc. Maybe they'll fix it on the turn.
I always remember, I was
we had
at
an
Brian,
audition
right?
for the flag carrier too, by the way.
Dude, and they worked him again, run faster.
All right, reset.
Reset, yeah.
I remember opening night, my first drum corps show. This was my rookie year. I remember being at Orange Coast College, and just feeling like, you know, we're backing up. We're on this like high platform, backing up so slow, and I was so rickety and so nervous. I remember, like, there was a bunch of us after the show. Like, did you almost fall over in the balance? Like, yes.
Wait, here it comes.
Yeah.
Would we even be able to do that today? Oh man, I don't know.
Guys,
maybe.
This part of the show is
It's pretty intense.
It's very intense.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good horn line.
That was a good release.
Yeah.
Work.
And I usually fast forward through the ballads. That's because I'm a drummer.
I fast forward through the drum solos.
Oh, come on. Your nose is growing on that one. You know you don't.
All right, you're right. You got me.
Here it is, the flip.
Magic trick. I love it. Yeah.
I remember doing that at the Vanguard home show, and instead of saying the party's over, the sign said "Happy 25th, Santa Clara."
Oh, wow.
Well, we thought they were going to boo us, but we actually got to stick and go with that part.
Pretty sure they were.
Well, actually, in the recipe, right? The part's coming up.
I just remember.
Now, this is some tough music, you guys.
The baseline ran. Yeah.
When I love the color guard's oversized swords.
The sickles? Yeah.
Awesome. Sickles, yeah.
Gate turned by the bassist.
We're not going to talk about this unintentional retard.
Hey, I'm just happy we played with some dynamics there.
Wasn't this in the days before Dr. B?
Yeah.
No, they had it in sectionals, but we didn't really do it too much on the field.
I just remember with the big pipes. Somebody had two big pipes and just do this. Bing, bing, bing.
He was so loud.
And this closer was like epic. I always loved this closer.
There.
Joe Bruin, look out!
Joe Bruin, he's so scary looking with his big
Terrifying.
Oh, that's the scariest looking bear.
Hey, it's my solo.
So wasn't the Hunter in the baritone line for a while?
I think he came back in '93 and marched the horn line in '93.
Oh,
man, Jim Goodrich, yeah.
Okay, yep.
Hey, and spoiler alert, the fat lady I think is really a guy. Or was a fat lady really a lady?
That's what I was talking about. I was talking about the fat lady.
Okay. So the fat lady was really a guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fat lady's good. Yeah.
He's falling in love.
So the guy playing the solo right now, I think, is one of the guys in charge of the Marine Corps Drum and Bugle Corps currently, Randy Rivera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Randy Rivera.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this was the age out year or if it was later. He marched 93.
He marched 93.
Yeah. Okay.
I always loved the drill
Now,
part.
for the record, those lines are freaking straight.
Those are very
Yeah.
straight.
Straight line. I'll give you that. Yep.
And with the white part exposed, that's
Yeah, with
You
the
know.
white part exposed, moving it a diagonal, cover. It was hard.
Yeah. That was a tough part. I always like how the horn line like rained through the drum line with this part here. You just brought it all forward. I really like that part.
We have a bass feature coming up here in a second, but it was like, it used to be all runs up and down, but then it wasn't musical enough, so it got rewritten. Like, here it is. Give it a little more musicality than just
Yeah.
beats back and forth.
I love how you call it a bass feature. Most people will call that the soprano duet, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we hang in different crowds. Yeah.
Yeah. That other soprano player, James Delgarza, played until he closed.
Here we go. Here it comes, right? Here it comes, right? Here it comes.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Vodka. We'd always say drink some effing vodka.
Well, they love that in Santa Clara, so we were.
We love it. We love it.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a good.
Not the first one, that one.
We haven't even talked about the story of the drums, the fluorescent drums yet. We'll save that for
Yeah,
afterwards.
you guys are maintaining a level of energy in this closer that is really hard to do. This is not a short closer. This is, I know we're getting to the end, but
Yeah, that was a haul. Yeah.
look at the witch. Forgot about her.
Behind him there, on the bike.
Nice. Good job,
That's
guys.
great.
Yeah, there it is.
That's
There
not
it
an
is.
easy camera angle for anybody. So
No.
Yeah.
Why would they switch to that camera?
they did it for years too. It's like the thing.
Comes the finals nights
Here we
of
go,
There it
Friday.
is.
guys.
Getting over till.
And just listen to the crowd.
Here comes the shark.
It gives me chills.
Oh, the crowd is going
There
crazy.
it is.
Hey, I played bass and I couldn't even hear myself playing from this point on to the end of the show. The crowd was that loud in person. And then take to the shark, because if the shark was actually supposed to
I
keep
love the
going all
beach
way
ball
out,
that you can see. Yeah. Oh, you guys. Great job.
Shark
Great
couple
job. That was
Couple of
awesome.
stories.
Oh,
The shark
so
story,
cool.
I think, is a very interesting story to tell. I think a lot of people think that the shark was intended and planned from the beginning, but no, that shark was found behind a school building in the middle of the tour, and we asked the band director, "Hey, can we borrow that shark?" And the band director said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So then we took the tour.
That's
Well, none of us did. It was all
You
the
know,
staff. They somehow figured this
that's
out,
awesome.
and then it ended up in the show at the end of the show.
Yeah, I want to say it was the band director's like, hey, I know the VK is known for the shark. Look what we have lying around here. Do you guys want to use it? And they couldn't turn it down. And the band director said, hey, we'll even drive it up there for you.
Yeah, how do you
finals
say
week.
no to a shark?
Yeah, the way the shark stopped, it wasn't supposed to stop, tick on the shark. It was supposed to keep going all the way out of the field.
Oh.
But
It was supposed to end up in that arc in the drum line, I thought.
no, it was supposed to just keep going all the way out, leave the stadium. But the fat lady's clothes got caught in the wheel, and that's why it stopped where it did.
And thank God someone told him to just keep wiggling his legs. Just keep wiggling your legs,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
as longer, more than you think. Because
Someone who used to help push that prop out to the field, I believe it was one of our bus drivers, got stuck in the hutch that hid the shark until the end. So there was an overage member on the field with the core throughout the entire finals run through.
That's true.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was an adult hiding under the.
They're going to strip us of our
Wow.
10th place
As long as
finish.
we're,
Don't tell
Wow.
freelancers.
as long as we're talking about rules violations, we can talk about the electric motor, the battery
Oh, yeah.
powers the electric motor to inflate the Godzilla. That's also against the rules.
Yeah, I want to say that they went and they had talked to DCI about that ahead of time and said, hey, we got this. Is this going to be okay? And they just looked at it and saw what it was, and they just laughed and said, yeah, we're talking about the neon drums. Well, real quick before that crowd was so loud at the end. I mean, it was just one of the most awesome feelings I've ever had. And I remember we would run off the field, and I remember running off the field, and I just wanted to look back at the crowd one last time. So I flipped my bass around real fast to look. And at the same time, Belski was running by with like a prototype Contra. And I dinged that bell real hard. And I'm like, oh no. But luckily, I think he hammered it out with his mouthpiece or something.
No, man, I used a tenor mallet.
I just wanted to get one last look at the crowd because it was just that much of a moment for me. So
Well, I remember the Blue Knights were waiting to go in, and I remember looking over at their uniforms. They had the dots and everything.
yeah.
They were standing there all tense, ready to go in, and hearing that crowd just.
Oh yeah.
It was.
As they were getting ready to go into that stadium, I was just like, oh boy.
Real quick, we had neon drums that year. We weren't actually in a cycle to get new drums. So those are actually the VK 91 drums that were like this beautifully stained, like burgundy wood stain.
Yeah, it was
So
beautiful.
one day, Charlie Grow takes them and he gets some sandpaper, takes sandpapers off all the lacquer, the gloss, and those drums are just spray painted fluorescent yellow. They're hand painted spray
Up
paint.
close,
Yeah.
that looked like they were different colors.
Oh, up close it looked terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, but from a distance, the effect worked. I mean, it looked good. But to see the look on the people's faces that marched those drums in '91, to watch them getting painted, it was hurtful. Oh, I want to say prelims or something. I don't know if it was called prelims back then, but I just remember there was a stadium where we got like a whole bunch of standing ovation. I want to say Nashville. Does that sound right? Yeah. And it was
Preview
super hot.
champions prelims.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the first note of the opener. We finished the singing. The horns came up. They went to the box, and the first note of the opener, the people were up on their feet, and that
It was unbelievable.
Kind of
I've
new.
never seen
We
anything
got
like
something
it.
going there. Yeah.
VK
Yeah.
was all about entertaining. And I think when some people on the outside watch VK perform, they might get the impression that that's the way it is all the time in the Corps, right? Like that's the way it is in rehearsal. That's the way it is on the bus. And maybe you guys could talk a little bit about that because.
No, yeah, no. The rehearsals were actually real serious. I mean, they took that stuff very serious in rehearsal time.
Comedy is hard. To do something straight is easier than trying to try to get a comic reaction out of it. We really have Greg Clark to thank for the way that he was our program coordinator in '92, and just the way that he could see how the audience was going to react to certain ideas or certain parts of the show, and where he just had this sense of where folks were going to be looking and what needed to be there and what needed to be somewhere else. So just to sort of keep it interesting over here. You have this big thing going on over here, but you've also got this thing over on this other side that's going to pull focus that way and get you looking that way to start watching the next thing. He was already building in transitions and just a visual focus. And he did it through props, and he did it through visuals that we would do and those kinds of things. But he gets a lot of credit for making sure that people were looking at the right place at the right time.
I'll agree 100% on that, and I'll add to that. He was also very skilled at philosophically getting us ready to perform. So he was very good at conditioning the Corps mentally to be like, I think he used to say something like, "We may be funny, but we ain't no joke."
That's right.
So we would have to try to perform very well and at the highest level we possibly could in order to make the gags and things be successful.
I want to say one of my memories from '92, since we're talking '92, during finals week, they brought in Greg Kivett.
Jeff Kivett.
Jeff Kivett. He was the muchacho solo for '75, and he played on Broadway. But one morning, the Corps was asleep, and it was time for us to get up, and he came in and he serenaded us with like the best trumpet solo, Chuck Mangione solo.
Yeah.
And it was just, you woke up and you were just, that hyped you up because it was just that awesome.
He played with Chuck Mangione. He was,
oh, really?
Yeah, he was on tour and he was doing some different things with Chuck Mangione at the time. So
yeah.
He
came in and I forget, was it Chase the Clouds Away? It was one of the ballads, and it was like, you could feel the energy just pumping us up.
It was like the most wonderful way to wake up on finals day.
Yes.
Wow.
If Disney could make that a moment, there'd be like little birds flying and everything.
That's
that
so
day
awesome.
was such a great day. If we're talking '92, like that morning, waking up finals day, we're performing that day. We're rehearsing that day, and after the '91 season and being out of finals and being back in finals in '92, just a euphoric experience.
To top finals night off, I had one of my best friends was marching Vanguard, so I got to eat off the food truck afterwards.
There's a group of alums that's put together a Velvet Knights Hall of Fame, and that's just they're just kind of getting started with that. And so that's a group of alumni and folks representing each of the different eras of VK are on, on that board. And
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It has been an absolute amazing pleasure for us to watch 1992 Velvet Nights with members that actually marched the 1992 Velvet Nights. Be sure to check out the Drum Corps Coffee Shop, both on Instagram and on Facebook. They also have merch for sale, and I would recommend picking some of that up. I know I think a mask is going to be in my future. So once again, I want to thank Mr. Ed Medina, Mr. Robert Martinez, and Mr. Brian Belski for stopping by today to watch this show with us. It has been our pleasure.
Hey, if you guys enjoy the Fanguard as much as I do, make sure you click the subscribe button and make sure you watch each episode, because each one has little tidbits of information that maybe you didn't know about certain shows that you love, like me. It's cool to watch.
Hey, I want to thank you guys again for so much for being here, and we will see you next time on the Fanguard. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.